Good morning, students. How are you? Okay, fine. Yesterday we have completed Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff formulated two basic laws to deal the current and voltage. The first law is KCL and the second law is KVL. After having that KCL and KVL, we come across the application of the KCL and KVL. That is nothing but the most important thing of the topic, Wheatstone bridge or Wheatstone network. Wheatstone's bridge or network. Wheatstone bridge or Wheatstone network. Charles Wheatstone, during the 1843, he designed the simple circuit, and that simple circuit is called the bridge to accurate calculate of the resistance for the comparison of resistance. For the accurate calculation of the resistance or comparison of the resistance. By using this Wheatstone network or Wheatstone bridge, there is a device which is completely based on this Wheatstone network, that is called meter bridge. The meter bridge is based on the principle of Wheatstone network. After having this Wheatstone network, we come across meter bridge. So, this Wheatstone bridge or Wheatstone network is designed by the scientist Wheatstone during the 1843 to calculate the accurate value of the resistance or the comparison of the resistance. Then what is that Wheatstone network or Wheatstone bridge consist? So, Wheatstone bridge consists of a quadrilateral, that is nothing but four-sided figure. Now this is a quadrilateral, four-sided figure, where each arm of the quadrilateral has what resistance? And how many resistance? Four resistances. Now these are the four resistances. And he named those resistance P, Q, S, R in cyclic order. Then why not P, Q, R, S? Then after the derivation we come across that why not P, Q, R, S? Why we go across P, Q, S, R only in cyclic order? Then, now these are the diagonal points. These two are the diagonal points. And again these two are also the diagonal points. Any two diagonal points, there is a including of galvanometer. Any two diagonal points, the galvanometer. The remaining two diagonal points connected to a battery of EMF E, having with negligible interresistance. Now this is the Wheatstone bridge or Wheatstone network designed by the scientist Charles Wheatstone. Now the Wheatstone network consists of a quadrilateral which consists of four-sided figure. Each arm of the quadrilateral is having the resistance. The resistance are named as a PQSR in cyclic order. Any two diagonal points galvanometer and the remaining two diagonal points a battery of EMF E. Then there is a flow of current I. Current starts from positive, terminates on negative. So I call this quadrilateral ABCD is a quadrilateral. Right? Then, when the current enters to the point A or the junction A, it has got more than one path. It divides. And I name it the current I1 and this is I2. Then, the current through the galvanometer is IG. Then, here I call the current through Q and S. I call it I3 and I4. Then, now this is our Wheatstone network. Just glance the field. The Wheatstone network consists of a quadrilateral. Each arm of the quadrilateral is having the resistance, and they are ordered PQSR in a cyclic order. And any two diagonal points, there is a galvanometer, and the remaining two diagonal points, there is a battery connection of EMF E. When the current enters, the current divides the current through P and R, I1 and I2, the current through Q and S resistors, that is I3 and I4. Now, then what is the analysis of the circuit? Next, what is that? We have to come across the balancing condition of Wheatstone network or the theory of Wheatstone network. So, when I come across the circuit diagram, I want to have the balancing condition of the Wheatstone network. Then I take the help of what? Then I go for the important derivation, balancing condition of Wheatstone network. Balancing condition of Wheatstone network. And it is also called principle of Wheatstone network. To obtain the balancing condition of the Wheatstone network, I have to go for the application of KCL and KVL. Then I go for the little explanation for this figure. A Wheatstone network consists of a quadrilateral. Each arm of the quadrilateral is having the resistance, and the resistance are ordered PQSR in cyclic order. The galvanometer is included between the points B and D, and the battery of EMF is connected between the points A and C. I is the current through the circuit, and IC is the current through the galvanometer, and the current which is divided, and it is available with the respect to circuit, that is respect to resistances as shown in the figure. Then after that, we adjust the resistances in the network such that the current through the galvanometer is 0. Then we can say that the network is balanced. I want to have the balancing condition. I want to achieve the balancing condition for Wheatstone network. And what is the condition for that? To adjust the resistance of the network, you adjust the alter the value of PQSR such that the current through the galvanometer is 0. When the current through the galvanometer is 0, then the network is said to be balanced. Now this is our explanation. Then after this, I come across the application of KCL and KVL for the bridge. To derive the derivation, there are the two hints. Just to follow the hint, the derivation ends. Easily we can get 5 marks. What is that first hint? Apply the KCL to the points where the galvanometer is connected. What is that first hint? Apply the KCL to the points where the galvanometer is connected. Second hint. Apply the KVL to the points where the battery is connected, including galvanometer path. What is the second hint? Apply the KVL to the battery points, including galvanometer path. Then third point, go for the balancing condition, that is Is equals to 0, by varying the values of the resistance in the network such that the current through the galvanometer is 0. Then you substitute the value of 0 in the obtained equation, then we come across the balancing condition of Wheatstone network. Then I go for my first hint. What is that first hint? Applying KCL to the points. What are the galvanometer points? B and D. Then at B, first step. So what is the conclusion of the KCL? The sum of the incoming currents is equals to sum of the outgoing currents. Where? At a node or junction. Now this is the point where we are going to be applying KCL. Then what are the incoming currents to the point B? I1. What are the outgoing currents from B? I3 and IG. Then according to the KCL, the incoming currents I1 at B is equals to outgoing currents from B, I3 plus IG. Shall I call equation number 1? Yes. sum of the incoming currents is equals to sum of the outgoing currents. We are applying the KCL at a point B. Then I take the point B as a node or junction. I1 is the incoming current and I3 and Ig are the outgoing currents. I call equation number 1. Then, what is the second point where the KCL to be applied? At D. What are the incoming currents to the node or the junction D? So I2 and Ig are the incoming current. I4 is the outgoing current. Therefore, incoming current I2 plus Ig is equals to outgoing current from the D. I4. This is equation number 2. Is it clear? So what is the hint given for the derivation? Apply the KCL to the points where the galvanometer is connected. So B and D are the points where the galvanometer is connected. Then we have applied the KCL at B. Sum of the incoming currents is equal to sum of the outgoing currents. We call equation number 1. Similarly, to the point D, what are the incoming currents? I2 and Ig are the incoming currents and I4 is the outgoing current. Incoming current is equal to outgoing current from the D. I call this is equation number 1 and 2. Then I go for applying KVL. Applying KVL to the loops. Have given the hint. Apply the KVL to the battery points including galvanometer path. What is the galvanometer path? BD. What are the battery points? A and C. By including this battery point and galvanometer path, I make one loop. By taking the battery point C and galvanometer path BD, I make another loop. Hence, I have got the two loops. Two battery points. BD is the common galvanometer path. I use this common galvanometer path BD with A. I use this common galvanometer path BD with C. I make two loops. First, for loop, shall I take point A? A, B, D, A. For loop, A, B, D, A. It starts with any point. You go clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, that is left way. Yesterday we have discussed that one. Then, what is that? KVL. Sum of IR product is equals to sum of EMF in a closed loop. Now this is our closed loop. Sum of IR product is equals to sum of EMF. First I go for IR product. So according to the sign convention, by tracing the loop, if the current is along with you, then the IR product is taken as positive. I am tracing the path A to B. The current is along with me. Hence, the IR product is positive. I1P is positive. Then B to D. I am tracing the path from B to D. I am moving in this direction. Current is also along with me, Ig. Hence, the IR product is positive, where G is the resistance of the galvanometer. So, Ig into G. Then, last one, D to A. When I trace the path from D to A, I am moving from D to A, but the current is approaching against to the traverse. Hence, the IR product is taken as negative. So it means that while moving in a loop, if the current is opposite to the direction of your traverse, then the IR product is taken as negative. I am tracing the path from D to A, so the current is moving against to the tracing the path D to A. Hence, IR product is taken as negative. Here, negative minus I2 into R. Now this is our IR product for the loop ABDA. Now, do you find any EMF here in this path? No battery connection, no EMF. Battery is connected here. It is supplying the current, but we are getting the current from this battery, but there will be no inclusion of what? The EMF in this loop. Hence, no EMF. The sum of IR product equals to sum of EMF. No EMF, 0. I call equation number 3. Is it clear? Now, this is the main point for the derivation. You can apply easily the KCL, but while applying the KVL, we have to take the sign convention and go for Coulomb. Is it clear? Then, what is the loop? Another loop to be left here? Battery point. What is another battery point? C. galvanometer path BD. Then I go for loop BD CB. Shall I go for here? For loop BD CB. Is it clear? Then again I take the sum of air product equals to sum of EMF for this loop air product. I am tracing the path BD. So current is also along with me. Hence the air product is positive. Ig into G. Then D to C. I am tracing the path D to C. The current is also along the direction of my trace. Hence the air product is positive. Then plus I4 into S. Then last one C to B. To complete the loop, I have to trace from C to B. I am tracing the path C to B, but the current is opposite to the direction of the traverse. Hence, air product is taken as negative minus I3Q. Is it clear? Now the loop is over. So let me know once again. For the loop BD C, B to D. So now this is the direction of my traverse. The current is also along with me. Hence, I have product is taken as positive. And I go for D to C. D to C. I am tracing D to C. The current is also along with my path. Hence, I product is taken as positive. I for S. The last point from C to B. I am moving from C to B, but the current is opposite to the direction of my motion. Hence, the I product is taken as negative. Then sum of I product is equals to sum of EMF. Do you find any factor here? No. Hence, no EMF is applied also for this loop. Hence, 0. I call this is equation number 4. Is it clear? Then, what is the balancing condition to be achieved? According to the explanation earlier, so by adjusting the resistances in the network such that current through the galvanometer is 0, then the network is said to be balanced. Now this is the theoretical sentence. I cannot write once again all the things here. When the network is balanced, what happens? The current through galvanometer is 0. At balancing condition, condition, Ig equals to 0. When you achieve the balancing condition, current through the galvanometer is 0, then what is our next step? Wherever the Ig is available in the equation 1, 2, 3, 4, you substitute Ig equals to 0, then you make the systematic arrangement of the equation, then that gives your balancing condition for this network 5 mass condition. At balancing condition, Ig equals to 0. Shall I substitute Ig equals to 0 in our equations? Put Ig equals to 0 in above equations. Whatever the equations we have got it, 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever the Ig is available in the equation, you reduce that Ig, you substitute Ig equals to 0, then the equation to be obtained. The first equation, I1 is equals to I3. I call I1 equals to I3. I1 equals to I3 plus Ig. Let me write once again. I put Ig equals to 0. I1 equals to I3. Is it clear? Then second equation, I2 plus Ig is equals to I4. Then Ig equals to 0. I2 equals to I4. Is it clear? Then what are the things to be available in the equation 3 and 4? That is the main thing. Because of the scarcity of the place, shall I go for the erasing of figure? I make the use of this part of the figure. Right? I1 equals to I3 and I2 equals to I4. Then I go for, now this part of the figure to be erased. I can use that part for writing the things. Right? Then, what about the third equation? I1P plus Ig into G minus I2R equals to 0. Then I substitute Ig equals to 0. From equation 3 and 4 I1P minus I2R is equals to 0, which implies I1P equals to I2R. I call this is equation Roman 1. It is called Roman 1. Then fourth equation, and here is the fourth equation. IZ0, I4S minus I3Q is equals to 0. I write systematically. I3Q is equals to I4S. I call Roman 2. Right? Then this is the Roman 1 and this is Roman. Just to glance the equations. This much of the figure is sufficient for us. Just to glance the equations, then final step I have to arrive from the equation Roman 1 and Roman. So I can divide equation Roman 1 by equation Roman 2. Dividing equation number 1 by 2. Dividing equation Roman 1 by Roman 2. Is it clear? Then what is the Roman 1? I1 by I1P is equals to I2R. Divide. What is Roman 2? I3Q. I3Q divided by this is I4S. So from the current equations, after substituting I is equals to 0, balancing condition term, I1 equals to I3 and I2 equals to I4. I1 equals to I3. These are get cancels. Is it clear? Then I2 equals to I4. Then what is to be remaining? P by Q is equals to R by S. This is our balancing condition. Now this is a balancing condition of what? Wheatstone network. Just first understand the figure, then after understanding the figure, go for these equations within a short span of time. Then this is a balancing condition. After substituting I is equals to 0, the equations are reduced to, and this is called Roman 1, Roman 2. Then dividing equation Roman 1 by Roman 2, we come across the balancing condition. P by Q equals to R by S. Just the small time should be given for you glancing the equation. Go for that. Is it over? So let me revise the whole derivation within fraction of minutes, systematically. A little bit queries are in your mind. That should be clear. Let me come across one second. So we are dealing with Wheatstone network. Shall I write here? Wheatstone's network. Charles Wheatstone designed the simple circuit to calculate the accurate measurement of the resistance and comparison of the resistance. And that circuit is called Wheatstone network. So during the 1843 he had designed that network. Your meter which is based on the principle of what? Wheatstone network. And what are the applications of the meter bridge? We come across later. Then what that meter bridge consists of? So first derivation we come across the balancing condition of Wheatstone network or the principle of Wheatstone network. Now this is our first derivative. That is nothing but most fundamental derivation of the topic, the balancing condition of the Wheatstone network or the principle of Wheatstone network. Then we go for circuit diagram. Then what that Wheatstone network consists of? The Wheatstone network consists of simply a quadrilateral, four-sided figure, and each arm of the quadrilateral is having the resistance. How many resistance? 4 resistances. Are you getting the point? And 4 resistances. Now he has named the resistance P, Q, S, R in cyclic order. So now these are the diagonal points, and these are also the diagonal points. To make the circuit to be easy without hacking, just we have got the hint. Any 2 diagonal points, the galvanometer of resistance G. The remaining 2 diagonal points, to pass the current through the circuit, we need the source of current. Now this is the EMF of negligible internal resistance E. I named that quadrilateral A, B, C, D is a quadrilateral. Now this A, B, C, D is a quadrilateral. I is the main current in the circuit. When the current enters in the network, I is the main current in the circuit. When the current enters into the network, it has got more than one path, hence it divides. I1 through P, I2 through R. I1 and I2 are the currents divided when they enters at a point A. And the current through the galvanometer is Ig. Then I call the current through Q and S, I3 and I4. Now this is my Wheatstone network. I1 and I2 are the current through P and R, and I3 and I4 are the current through Q and S. And Ic is the current through the galvanometer of resistance G. To derive the Wheatstone network, we have got the 3 hints. Just to follow those hints, the derivation ends. Try to read the figure, not see the figure. Then you give the little bit explanation for the figure. Already I have told earlier, don't bahut the sentence. Keep the figure in front of you. Make the little bit sentence for them, that by seeing the figure, that is your explanation for the figure. Without explanation, go for the derivation. Don't go for the derivation. You create your own sentence without bahutting, with free of mind. The Wheatstone network consists of a quadrilateral A, B, C, D having the resistance in their arm P, Q, S, R in cyclic order. Let I be the current in the circuit, and the respective currents in the circuits are as shown in the figure. Let IC be the current through the galvanometer of resistance G. Right? Then, what is the first hint? The first hint, apply the KCL to the points where the galvanometer is connected. What are the points here? The galvanometer is connected, P and D. Second hint, apply the KVL for the battery points including galvanometer path. Apply the KVL to the battery points. What are the battery points? A and C, including the galvanometer path, BD. It means that you make the loop including the battery point and galvanometer path. Then third hint, at the balancing condition, by adjusting the resistance in the network such that current through the galvanometer is 0, then the network is said to be balanced. When IC is made to be 0, by adjusting the resistance in the network PQSR, then the network is said to be balanced. Now these are the 3 basic hints for the derivation. Then I go for first hint. Applying KCL to the points B and D. Now these are the points where the galvanometer is connected. I apply the KCL for these points. So at B, what is the conclusion of the KCL? Sum of the incoming currents is equals to sum of the outgoing currents from the junction. Now this is the point. Now this is the junction. What are the incoming currents? I1. What are the outgoing currents? Ij and I. At B, incoming current I1 is equals to outgoing current I3 plus Ij. Call equation number 1. Is it clear? Then, what is another point? D point. At D, what are the incoming currents? I2 and Ij. What is the outgoing current? I4. I2 plus Ig. These are the two incoming currents to the point D. Outgoing current I4. Equation number 2. Is it clear? Then, what are the remaining things here in the circuit? A and C are the battery points. What is the common galvanometer path? BD. Then, applying KVL to the loops for loop, what is that battery point? A, galvanometer path BD. Then what is that loop? ABDA. Shall I take? Yes. For loop ABDA. We take the sign convention of EMF as well as IR product. First, sum of IR product equals to sum of EMF. I go for KVL application here. I am tracing the path from A to B. When you trace the path A to B, the current is also moving along your direction, tracing. Hence, the IR product is taken as positive. Then, I1P. You are tracing the path. Next, B to D. You are moving from B to D. While moving B to D, the current is also along with you. Then IR product is taken as positive. Ij into G. Then what is the last point? D to A. When you trace the path D to A, you are moving in this direction, but the current is opposite to the direction of your motion. Then the IR product is taken as negative. Your I2R is negative. Minus I2R. Sum of IR product. Do you find any EMF in this loop? No EMF. Hence, 0. No EMF means what? 0. I call equation number 3. Then what is the another battery point? C. Then what is the galvanometer path? BD. Then for loop, next loop. For loop, BD, CB. Right. Whatever the loop convenient for you, you start that point and again you come to the same point and makes the loop. सर हम BD CB लेना बोलते हैं, आप D से स्टार्ट करो, DC BD. नहीं सर हम C से स्टार्ट करते हैं, स्टार्ट करो CB DC. नहीं सर हम इधर से जाते हैं, जाओ कौन नको बोले CD BC. Either you go in the clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. It starts with any point that is left to you. With free of mind, you have to do the direction. That is B to BDCB. According to me, that I have taken BDCB. You take any point or any tracing that is either clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. That is that. So for me here, BDCB. I am tracing the path B to D. By tracing path B to D, current is along with my trace. Hence, the IR product is taken as positive. G into Ig. Plus. When I move from D to C, I am moving from D to C. Current is along with me. Hence, the IR product is positive. I4 into S. Then, C to B. I am tracing the path C to B. But the direction of the current is opposite to the direction of my motion. Hence, the IR product is taken as negative. Minus I think. Do you find any EMF here? No EMF. 0. Shall I call equation number 4? Yes. So, about the 4 equations. Apply the KCL to the battery points. Apply the KVL for the. I apply the KCL for the galvanometer points and KVL for battery points, including galvanometer path. So, I have got the 4 equations. Then I go for balancing condition. When the network is balanced, then current through the galvanometer is 0. When the network is balanced, I is equals to 0. Then above equations reduces to wherever the Is is available in the above equation, I substitute Is equals to 0 in all the equations, then I make the final step. I1 equals to I3. When I substitute Is equals to 0 here, I2 equals to I4. Now this is one set. Then what about this KVL equations? Also I1P. I substitute Is equals to 0 here. I1P minus I2R, which implies I1P is equals to I2R. Shall I call equation number Roman 1? I already have given the equation number 1. I call it equation Roman 1. Is it clear? Then I come across here. And what is the fourth equation? I place Is equals to 0 here. I4S minus I3Q is equals to 0. Then I make the systematic arrangement. I3Q is equals to I4S. Shall I call equation number Roman 2? Our two equation. One is Roman 1 and another one is Roman 2. Those equations are obtained from KVL equations. Then I divide equation number 1 by equation 2, that is Roman. Divide equation 1 by 2. Then 1 I1P is equals to I2R. Divide I3Q I4S. Then I have made the one set of the equation, that is for current. I1 equals to I3. I1 equals to I3. Shall I cancel that? Yes. Then I2 equals to I4. Shall I cancel them? Yes. Then what is your balancing condition? P by Q equals to R by S. This is my Fibonacci derivation for balancing condition of a Wheatstone network. Now this is nothing but we have made it systematic manner. The diagram, that circuit diagram is one side, complete derivation step is another side. Now this is our balancing condition. This is the principle of what? Wheatstone network. P by Q equals to R by S. What that reveals? P and Q. Now these are called arm resistances. Now these are the two arms. Right? Is it clear? Arms. They are nothing but arms. These are also arms. If I make ऐसा मुंडी बना दे, ये दो क्या हो गए? आर्म हो गए. यहाँ पे मुंडी बना दे, ये क्या हो गए? आर्म हो गए. These are the two upper arms. These are the two lower arms. Is it clear? Shall I use it? Term arm resistances. So P by Q equals to R by S. What that indicates? The ratio of arm resistance are equal. The ratio of arm resistance are equal. P by Q equals to R by S. If I take PQRS, what happens? Balancing condition. P by Q equals to S by R. What is the balancing condition here? P by Q equals to S by R. To easy spelling, to make the spelling to be easier, so that without any feeling of toughness for giving the condition, P by Q equals to R by S. Hence we have taken PQSR in cyclic order. To make that final equation, P by Q equals to R by S, the ratio of arm resistance are equal. To have the easy spell, you go for PQSR in the cyclic order. That is the only thing. You can take it PQRS. Then what is your equation, final equation? P by Q equals to S by R. That is the only thing. For have the easy spelling, we have to be easily give the condition for balancing. P by Q equals to R by S. The ratio of arm resistances are equal. Now this is my Wheatstone network, and this derivation carries 5 marks. And what is the title for the derivation? Give the balancing condition of Wheatstone network, or give the principle of Wheatstone network. Or what is the principle of Wheatstone network? Is it clear? Shall I go for the application of Wheatstone network? Yes. By studying the Wheatstone network, we come across the application of the Wheatstone network. What is the application of Wheatstone network? Then I come across meter bridge. What is my next term? Meter bridge. Meter bridge is a device which is based on the principle of Wheatstone network. First point. Meter bridge is a device which is based on Wheatstone network. And this Wheatstone network is used to calculate the accurate measurement of the resistance, comparison of the resistance, to calculate the resistivity of a given material of the wire, to calculate the temperature coefficient of a given material of a conductor or thermistor. So, now this meter bridge is completely based on what? Wheatstone network. Then why it is called meter bridge? Now this meter bridge, the name itself indicates that it consists of a wire of 1 meter length, which is stretched on a wooden board on meter scale. So, this meter bridge consists of a 1 meter length of wire stretched on a meter scale, and these are the two ends of the wire, A end and this is C end. The two ends of the wire A and C of a meter bridge having the length 1 meter, and there are the two inverted L-shaped metallic strip. Now this is the L. Inverted L. Now this is the inverted L. There are two inverted L-shaped metallic strips provided with the each end, A and C. Two inverted L-shaped metallic strips at A and C. In between that there is a straight strip, and which makes the two gap. One is the right gap, another one is the left gap, provided with, for electrical connection, binding screws. Now these are the binding screws to have the electrical connection in the circuit. Then, whatever the resistance to be calculated, the unknown resistance and its resistivity, so that unknown resistance whose value is to be determined, that is connected in the left gap. Yes. The known resistance, that is the standard resistance variable, which is connected in the right gap. Right? Then, to provide the current in the circuit, I need the battery of EMF E. The battery is connected between A and C. Positive terminal goes to A, where the unknown resistance is connected, and negative terminal to the C point. We are told that it is based on the principle of Wheatstone network. When you come across the principle of Wheatstone network, when it is get balanced, the current through the galvanometer is made to be 0, then the network is said to be balanced. I must need the galvanometer. Where the galvanometer is connected? The galvanometer is connected here, and this is the one end of the galvanometer. Another end of the galvanometer is connected to the jockey or sliding contact. Right? Now this is my circuit diagram, having the EMF E. Then, after giving almost all the connections, whether our connection is right or wrong, how it is going to be checked? The galvanometer is having the pointer. It shows the deflection on both the sides, right side as well as left side. So, whether my circuit connection is correct or not, I want to check it. I take the jockey and place at a point A. Then the galvanometer must show the deflection in opposite side. If you touch A, the deflection should be towards this side. If I take the jockey and place at the C, then again the deflection should be another side. If I get to the opposite side deflection, then my circuit is correct. सर आप हमको डिफ्लेक्शन ही नहीं रहा, कहीं तो लूज कॉन्टैक्ट रहता है, कनेक्शन देते हो सही ढंग से नहीं दिए सो रहते, just you have to check it, just tighten the binding screws in the proper way, then you can easily get the what? The opposite side deflection. Then, after checking that opposite side deflection, then how to go for determining the unknown resistance and then calculate the resistivity of a given material of the wire by using meter gauge. तो circuit correct है. Then I call this is point B where the galvanometer is connected. I want to achieve the balancing condition. For that, I remove the certain value from S. 1, 2, 3. That is nothing but plug-in resistance. कितना तो value निकाल दो. Then you slide the jockey from the end A on the wire such that how long you are goes on sliding the wire, the jockey on the wire, till the galvanometer reads zero deflection. अगर आप यहाँ पे लगाते, it shows the deflection on side, opposite side deflection. पूरा दूर गए सो रहता. I goes on sliding the jockey on the wire. How long? Till the deflection in the galvanometer reads zero. Now this is the point where the deflection reads zero. Now this is called a balancing point, and this length is called balancing length L, and this remaining is nothing but 100 minus L. Because this is nothing but 1 meter, 100 centimeter. If it is in terms of meter, 1 minus L. If it is in terms of centimeter, 100 minus L. Now this is our balancing point D. A point to wire पे balancing length, that galvanometer shows zero deflection. Then this length is nothing but balancing length in centimeter. Then remaining what? 100 centimeter. बचा कितना? 100 minus L. Is it clear? I call this is D point. Then I go for systematic diagram of what? Wheatstone network. Already I बोल दिया सो है. And this is based on the principle of what? Wheatstone network. Sir, Wheatstone network और इसको कैसा फिगर डाल सकते हैं? Yes. What is your Wheatstone network? The Wheatstone network consists of a quadrilateral डाल दो. Equivalent circuit जानो भाई. Four resistors. सही है. Now take the battery connection. लगा दो. Where the battery is connected, here the battery positive terminal is connected to the A point, negative is connected to the C point. Positive terminal of the battery goes to A point and negative terminal goes to C point. Where the galvanometer is connected between B and D, this is B point and this is D point, this is your galvanometer. Just see the figure, make the equivalent circuit of what? Wheatstone network. So this is my original figure of what? Meter bridge. This meter bridge based on the principle of what? Wheatstone network. Now this is my Wheatstone network. It consists of 4 resistances having the quadrilateral, and where the battery is connected, positive terminal goes to A end and negative terminal goes to C end. The galvanometer is connected between B and D. The galvanometer is connected between B and D. Then, in between A and B, analyze this figure. In between A and B, what is the existence? X. In between A and B, what is the existence? X. In between B and C, what is the existence here? Yes. What is the in between B and C? What is that? Yes. In between A and D, in between A and D, what is that? L. In between A and D, what is that? L. In between D and C, what is that? 100 minus L. In between D and C, 100 minus L. Don't write PQRS here. So whatever in meter bridge, we have what the terms, those terms should be substituted in our circuit of Wheatstone network. So in between A and B, X. In between A and B, X. In between B and C, yes. Is it clear? Then in between A and D, L. In between D and C, 100 minus L. Then how can you say that L is the resistance? We know that in the resistance condition, R is directly proportional to L. The length of the wire that measures what? Its resistance. That is nothing but L, and this is 100 minus L. Then what is the balancing condition? Already by adjusted the J on the wire till the galvanometer that galvanometer reaches 0, then the network is balanced. Then this is nothing but what? Our balancing line. So from balancing condition, the ratio of arm resistance are equal. Ratio of arm resistance X by S equal the ratio of arm resistance L divided by 100 minus L. According to balancing condition of Wheatstone network, the ratio of arm resistance, these are the arm resistance ratio X by S. Now these are the arm resistance ratio L divided by 100 minus L are equal. The ratio of arm resistance are equal. The unknown resistance X equals to cross multiplication SL divided by 100 minus L. It is measured in terms of what? Ohm. Now this is the calculation of unknown resistance by using meter bridge, by using the balancing condition. When you got the unknown resistance, what is the resistivity of this material of the wire? What is that material of the wire? Unknown resistance. Then we know that from the equation. Let R is directly proportional to L, inversely proportional to cross-section area A. I don't take the small l because small l is scripted here for balancing length. L is nothing but length of the wire. Whatever the unknown resistance is given, what that length consists, that measures what? Capital L. Don't write small l. Small l is scripted here, we mentioned here as a balancing length. Don't confuse. Then we have solved this one. R equals to rho L by A. Here the resistance is nothing but unknown resistance. Here R equals to X. What is the shape of the conductor? That is nothing but cylindrical. Cross section area pi r square. So area pi r square. Then X equals to rho L divided by pi r square. Then I need the resistivity rho equals to X pi r square divided by L. We directly given in the examination, practical examination, diameter we have provided. Then instead of this R, shall I go for diameter? A equals to pi r square, radius equals to half of the diameter. Then I substitute here directly rho equals to, that is nothing but X equals to rho L divided by pi d square by 4. Then what is your final equation? So 4 rho L divided by pi d square. I need the resistivity rho equals to X pi d square divided by 4L. Its SI unit is ohm meter. Just to check the equations. Right? Now this is our meter bridge. That meter bridge consists of 1 meter length of the wire, and there are two inverted L-shaped metallic strip at the ends A and C. There is a straight strip in between that, such that that makes the two gaps. One is the right gap, another one is left gap. Whatever the resistance whose value is to be determined, unknown resistance, it is connected in the left gap, and the standard resistance is connected in the right gap. Then battery connection is provided. Positive terminal goes to end A, where the unknown resistance is connected, and negative terminal to the point C. Then the galvanometer is included. So at B, and another end of the galvanometer goes to jockey. To achieve the balancing condition, I slide the jockey on the meter bridge wire such that the current through the galvanometer is meant to be 0. Then D is the balancing point where the current in the galvanometer is 0. That is called balancing length. Remaining is 100 minus L because the length is 1 meter, that is 100 centimeter, that is 100 minus L. Then its equivalent circuit is Wheatstone network. This is equivalent circuit. The Wheatstone network consists of quadrilateral with having 4 resistances. The battery is connected between A and C, and galvanometer is connected between B and D. Then I compare both the circuits. Then X is in between A and B, S is between B and C, and L is between A and D, and 100 minus L is between D and C. Then from the balancing condition, the ratio of arm resistance are equal. Then I calculate the unknown resistance X, SL divided by 100 minus L. Then from this I want to determine the resistivity of a given material of the wire X. Then I go for original derivation, original equation. R is directly proportional to L and inversely proportional to cross section area. You take L capital letter because small letter is meant for what here? Balance equation. Then after removing the proportional sign, rho L divided by A, R is nothing but here the resistance of the unknown wire X, A is nothing but pi r square, R is replaced by diameter, half of the diameter is nothing but radius, then X L divided by pi r square, R is replaced by what? Diameter, d square by 4, then you take the numerator 4 rho L, that 4 goes to numerator 4 rho L divided by pi d square. I need the resistivity rho, cross multiplication x pi d square divided by 4L, it's a sign is ohm meter. By using this meter bridge, we can calculate the unknown resistance of the given material of the wire and its resistivity. Is that clear? Yes. I hope that you have enjoyed the equations. The next class, the last thing of the topic, potentiometer and its application. If you have got any queries, go for the comments. That should be clear. Yes. Thank you.